You right, Neville? Yes. Thank you, Larry. You right? I'm going to go and stand in front of this camera, get them warned, and then I'll hand you over to the referees. Okay? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the denouement of the 2024 Australian National Snooker Championship. We have our finals day. So there are two semi-finals today. A final here on table 5, a final down there on table 1. Down there, Steve Mifsud, the defending champion, is playing against Caleb Barrett from Tasmania, and that match is being looked after by Bohan Lin. And on this table here, we have Vinny Calabrese, who is the #1 ranked player in Australia, playing against Sean Dallitz, and they are being refereed by Neville Ingalls. I'd like to thank all the players and all the spectators that have been here over the last couple of days. I hope that everyone thoroughly enjoys themselves today. Could I ask everyone please to make sure their mobile phone is turned off or on silent? And I'm going to hand the players over into the safekeeping of the referees. Now, these matches are best of 9, which means that there will be a 15-minute break after 4 frames. And so at that time, the players will go and freshen up a little. Everyone's invited to go to the bar or upstairs, get themselves a coffee or something, etc. So don't feel as though you're missing out in any way. There are copies of the program here, and the program makes for very interesting reading. There's a thing about the history of this championship, which I think you will find very interesting. I hope that everybody thoroughly enjoys themselves. I wish everybody an equal rub of the green, and I hand you over into your referees. Thank you very much.
That's 9 frames. Vinny Calabrese to Bricker.
And we are live, as Paul said, from the RACV club in Melbourne for the semi-final of the Australian Snooker Championship. This semi-final is between Sean Dallitz and Vinny Calabrese. Vinny just broke off, and Sean is to play. This is the best of 9, so it's a race to 5 frames, and there'll be a break after 4. It's a very confident opener from Vinny. He's been playing well for this whole event. I should probably introduce myself before I keep going. I'm Sam Malcolm. I've been a referee for the first 2 days of the event, and I'm here running the live stream for the semi-final and the final. I should be able to convince some other people to jump onto the commentary with me later. I've seen James Mifsud walking around here, so I'm sure that he'll jump on at some point. But Vinny's been playing well all week. And he's just so confident, as you can see by taking that red on. Yeah. Paul Cosgrove, the tournament director, is the marker on the other table, and I've asked him to message me the results on that table as they come in, so I'll keep you informed as best as I can on that table as well.
Six. Seven. Recalibration. 7. Five. Six. Eight. Nine.
The reds are really nice and open here. Vinny will be wanting to make a
16.
big contribution here. I'm guessing he's not on the red above the black that he was probably playing for there.
Recalibration. 16. What?
That's a great putt from Sean. Right against the cushion and pretty comfortably on the black. Sean, I think, has made the most recorded breaks of the entire event, which is very impressive. So with the reds like this, he's probably quite likely to do some damage.
Two. 3.
This might be the last of the easy reds, so I'm sure he's just thinking about what he wants to do about the others. Planning well ahead, as the top players often do.
31. Sean Dallas, 31.
So you don't see him miss blacks off the spot very often.
Sean Dallas, 31.
Probably nerves for such a big event.
One.
And the tables are all playing wonderfully. They've all been recovered by Old Cocks before the event, all 8 of them, which is just, brilliant. Old Cocks have been sponsoring these sorts of events for well over 100 years, there's just an incredible history there.
Four.
The yellow going on the black spot makes things pretty interesting, because if Vinny takes the black, it's going to go up the top on the yellow spot. And in a close game, the black's important. It's going to make, if he was wanting to, he's going to get it back up there now. If he wants to try and win in one visit, that was probably the smart option rather than the easier
6.
black, just to sort of raises the ceiling for what he can get at this visit, I think.
Winnie Calabrese, 6.
That was a good shot to miss that black with the red. Myself, John Moss and Brendan Lang have been recently starting a podcast about snooker and billiards in Australia, which we'll be sharing lots of content from that soon. But Vinny was nice enough to sit down with John and Brendan this week. I actually haven't heard it myself, so I'm looking forward to listening to it too. But very, very cool to get a chance to chat to him, and very exciting to, all the players are seem super keen to sit down with us and talk about their journeys to where they are and their experiences playing the game. And we want to talk to sort of officials as well. We've recorded an episode with Larry Forgan, who's the Victorian Director of Referees. So naturally, we asked him at length about the misrule, which causes a lot of arguments, a lot of spirited debates. But it's good to hear from the top of the referee group. And he's done a fantastic job building this community of referees. The entire event, bar one, was officiated by Victorians this year, including myself, of course. But we also had Gareth King come down from New South Wales, who's just a brilliant official as well. I believe he did the final last year. He was just a wonderful referee to watch. Of course, this match is refereed by Neville Ingalls, and the other match is Bohan Lin, and Anuj Rathi is going to be doing the final as well.
Foul. And this full John Dallas.
having a bit of trouble with the web service we use for the scoreboard, so if it takes a second for it to update, I do apologise for that. Let's have a look here.
Eight. Nine.
Vinny's actually on 29, Sean's on 50. As I try and correct this technical issue. Something's bound to go wrong at some point, right?
John Dallas, 33. And Craig John Dallas.
I apologise for that. Apparently you can't undo a foul. That causes the website to crash. Neville Ingles, of course, doing a brilliant job as the official for this match.
Second frame, Sean Dallas leads 1 frame to nil. Disappears so fast. There you go, Lee.
Do apologise if there's any lags in the stream. We are at the mercy of the available Australian internet infrastructures, which we all know is less than ideal. But it is being recorded at the same time, so we will have a version available without any of those nasty network artifacts at a later date.
One. Eight. Nine.
Looks very controlled here. There's still quite a few reds. Looks like the one to the left underneath the bunch goes into the right-hand pocket as well. So there's a few that he can land on. Yeah, so he's done a great job there. You know, he's playing for an area, because if he goes too high, he has the one to the middle. Too low, he has this one. Just very smart snooker.
17.
Sean had the highest break at the Lance panel a few months ago. It was a 135, which we put on our YouTube. It was just incredible to see. He's obviously very, very talented. Just going to screw back down for the black again.
25.
That's four reds, 3 blacks. He's got the red on the right side underneath the pack here. So that's yet another recorded break for Sean, who has, I believe, the most for the entire event. Just very consistent high scoring from Sean. I don't want to say 147. There's never been one in the national championship, so I won't say it. But it has been 5 reds and 5 blacks, that's all I'll say.
John Dallas, 40.
Probably the sensible shot. You know, Sean would rather win the match than let the boat out a little bit. Or he's saving the maximum for the final, I don't know. There's still 10 reds. Still haven't got any results from the other table yet, so maybe it's a close first frame. or Paul has forgotten to message me the results. I'm not sure. It's either one of those two options.
Four, too many capability.
I did the foul right that time, guys. No undoing needed. No catastrophe like the last frame. I welcome your round of applause very humbly.
One.
So still in the first frame on the other table.
6.
49 to 27 to Steve Mifsud, who's playing Cale Barrett.
7. 12.
He has so much cue power, Vinny. He just strikes the ball so confidently. Like, he hit that ball quite hard to get it to where he wanted it to go.
13. Six. 7.
That's 3 blues, 2 blacks for Vinny. You don't often get 2 recorded breaks in the same frame, but these players are just that heavy at scoring.
Three. $50. $51.
So all the scores on the scoreboard right now, less one foul from Sean, have been made in one visit each. Because Sean made the 40 and now Vinny's in for 51. It's just a very high level.
$56.
4 blues, 4 blacks for Vinny. And
57.
these reds are nice and open as well. Got a message through from the other table. Great safeties by both players. There's 2 reds left, and they're both on the cushions. And Steve Mifsud leads Carl Barrett 54-27. Both of them, I imagine, showing great respect for their opponents. They know that if they leave them in, that's it. Must have finished quite straight on that blue. He's not quite as nice on this red here.
$63.
Possible 97, if my math is correct. Yeah, 70 with 27 on the table, so possible 97 here.
72. $75. $79. $84. $90.
That was an incredible 97 clearance by Vinny. You know, anyone who plays this game knows how hard it is to pot 2 balls in a row, and he's just potted about 26. Sean Dallon's the 40 break was really controlled and really classy, and then just, still to lose the frame. That's just the standard that they're playing at. What a magnificent break that was. One red left on the other match. Steve Mifsud 61, Cale Barrett 35. So obviously with one red left, 35 still on the table. So still anyone's game. And it's those close games that are really just mentally important to win as well. You know, you don't want to lose one of those long, flowing, grinding sort of games. Because those are the games that often decide the winner of the match as well. I believe Vinny will be breaking off in this third frame.
Third frame. Frames are 1 off. When you get up, easy to break.
I won't say who because it will be incriminating, but I did get a photo of someone watching our stream on a second monitor while they're at work, which is wonderful priorities. I love that. Feel free to tell us in the YouTube chat where you're watching it from. I can see Kevin is watching from Ireland. So we've gone international here, live from Melbourne. The RACV club is a wonderful billiard room. I think I just heard Bohan announce scores, and it sounded like he just announced the frame to Steve. I'll confirm that when a message comes through. Yep, first frame to Steve Mifsud. On the other table, you know, we've been through 2 frames on this table and they've just finished their first. It must have been a close, tense battle. Steve's actually only lost 2 frames for the entire event, which is just an unbelievable record. It's not a particularly controversial opinion to say that Steve Mifsud is a good player. He's won this event 10 times before. Vinny's won it once. And the other 2 would be first time winners, I believe. They're all certainly capable of winning it. They're all incredible players. More people watching at work. We won't dob you in. Good to see people enjoying the high quality snooker that Australia has to offer. Some other previous champions who were in this event, Adrian Ridley and Joel Younger, who played each other yesterday, and Adrian ended up winning the deciding frame. They played all 7, and then lost to Steve Mifsud, but took one of the only frames that Steve has lost for the entire event from him. So it's a unique and privileged group. Robbie Foldvari, of course, who I believe lost to Xavier Dorr, who is it's an excellent player. It's always good to see young talent having great results. And James Mifsud, Steve's brother, had a bit of an unlucky draw, you have to say, in round 1. Playing former professional Kurt Dunham, and lost that match. It's not a shot you'd expect Vinny to miss. It wasn't massively easy, but he's been putting those all week. All weekend, I should say.
Four. Five.
Finished pretty low here. Kind of has to commit to going into the reds.
Vinny Galabrusi, 5.
Sean hasn't been left with too much to go at in this frame.
Nick Gallagher, 9.
That sounded like a kick to me. That did not sound like a clean contact at all. It was very unlucky. The sigh from Vinny also sounded like it was a kick. In the second frame of the other match, Kyle Barrett is leading Steve Mifsud 29-0, and they're playing a safety battle at the moment. You can kind of hear Bohan on the other table, who's the ref there, Bohan Lin. It sounded like he announced that someone had potted a red. This looks like it's going to be one of those close sort of safety battle frames. The blue and the pink not in a good spot. So unless either player can sort of promote those into a potable position, they'll if they want to win in a big visit, they'll have to do it with just the black. But a lot of the reds are in tough spots too. That was a great pot into the middle there. Finished a little low. If he has an angle to go up the table, he might be able to move one of those reds on the left-hand side as we look, or the one on the baulk cushion. He's done well to land on this, but shots across the top rail are just so nasty. Wouldn't even be surprised if he plays safe here. Yeah, taking the discipline shot there. Because he knows the reds are safe. It's sort of, you know, you feel like he's going to get more opportunities in this frame. Don't think Vinny can see the ones on the right. Containing safety there. you don't really blame the players for taking on ambitious pots here, because if they miss it, the only red that they're likely to leave on is the one that they have played at themselves. And even then, the available colours are not ideal. So the risk factor is quite a bit different. More people watching at work. The productivity factor of snooker fans in Australia will be low today. I'd like to apologise on everyone's behalf.
What?
Any boss who sacks someone for watching the Australian Snooker Championship semis and final today is a bum.
8.
I think Bob Hawke said that.
Nine.
Believe I just overheard
16.
Paul Cosgriff say the scores were 39-0 on the other table. That would be 39 to Kale. Kale made one of the 2 centuries so far we've seen in this event of exactly 100. So I've just been messaged, you can actually buy software that will wiggle the mouse for you. So if you want to look like you're, on Microsoft Teams or something, you're active, but you want to watch the snooker instead, I'm not going to tell you to download one of those, but, the options are there. People have thought this, and I'm sure that the incentive was snooker specifically when they wrote that code. But I'm legally not telling you to do that.
24.
But some people do. We want the snooker fans in Australia to remain gainfully employed. See, even with many of the reds and colours in just awful spots, you leave someone like Sean in and you know, he's gonna punish you. Vinny was unlucky to sort of with that safety shot that didn't go well. He almost like promoted a couple of reds into puttable position, and clearly Sean is, you know, making the most of the opportunities that he gets. That's a good pot. That's a great pot. Yet another 40 plus recorded break for Sean. It's 27 in front with 35 left. This is frame bowl here.
57.
That was clever. That's just very smart.
$60. 62. 65. 69. 74.
This is incredible. Look at where the blue and the pink were at the start of this break, and he's promoted the pink off of a red, knocked the blue off the brown.
80.
This has just been a truly extraordinary clearance. It really has been.
87.
This is incredible stuff.
Fourth frame, Sean Dennis leads 2 frames to 1. Sean Dennis. Blue ball. Six. Seven. Blue ball. Winning count is 14.
That's a good safety shot. And that's a good escape as well. He'd prefer the cue ball to be closer to the ball line, but he hasn't really left anything. Off 2 cushions, that's pretty good.
One. Eight. Shot Alice, 8.
That's an unexpected miss, but he seems to have gotten away with it. Just a little bit short of behind the yellow there.
One, 7.
That was a great pot, but it doesn't look like he has a colour to go at. Certainly none easy. I did get a message through from Paul on the other table that Kale won the second frame. So the frames are tied, one each. And a few colours have gone down in the second frame, and it's currently Steve Mifsud 16, Kale Barrett 6.
One.
That's a great pot now. Sean's got a choice here. Trying to pot a ball colour, roll up behind one, hope for a better opportunity. It's probably the smarter choice.
Yellow ball. Shot Alice,
That's a good safety. He looks quite tight behind that blue. another top safety shot. Tap of the table from Vinny. A lot of respect between these two players. That's why they're not being overly ambitious, because they know if they leave anything, that's another frame sitting there on the table. You know, Sean's made an 87, Vinny's made a 97. They're both perfectly capable of winning in one visit with the right opportunity. That's great pace. This red into the middle is a bit of a tempter for Sean. It's tough. Looks like he's looking at the pink, if he does get it.
One.
Into the corner. That's a brave, confident pot.
Seven. Shot balance, 7.
Some really clever and disciplined snooker being played. But then you see like the pace of that escape, and as much as their scoring is really impressive, their safety play is up to that standard as well. It was a good weight. He was unlucky to leave that red, but it was a tough putt, and Vinny's just played it so comfortably and confidently.
Seven.
Oh.
Winning counter is 7.
I was going to say, you do well to score heavily there, but that was a great attempt. Haven't gotten any updates from the other table, so I'm guessing they're still tied at 1 frame each.
4, Sean Dallas.
That was unlucky. It looked like a red went in there as well. Takes a possible 8 points off the table, but it is close still, as you can see.
Sean Dallas 20, Vinny Calabrese 22.
That's a great pot attempt. Those are nowhere near as easy as they look. It was so close to the top rail.
Sean Dallas 1.
See, when you have tense safety battles like this and you haven't been, potting bowls in a while, you kind of don't have that rhythm and flow.
1.
I'm sure that's the only reason Sean missed that yellow then. Don't know. It's hard to see if any of those reds go into the middle. Probably not easy.
Vinny Calabrese 7.
Yeah, not pushing the boat out. I've heard that Steve's won the 3rd frame on the other table. So he's leading now 2 frames to 1. He's caught up with this table in terms of the scoreline. And after this frame on both tables, there'll be a 15-minute break. I'll put a timer up on the screen so we know when we return.
7.
Yeah, this is still shaping up to be a longer frame.
Shot down 7.
Obviously 2-all at the interval is very different to 3-1, and because it's a close game, they're both going to be fighting, not really taking any chances. It's an important frame, this. Vinny may have left this red in a potable position, but a lot of the colours are horrible, and those two last reds are nasty as well.
What?
Look at the work he's got on that cue ball to get that up for the pink. Looks like he's just off straight, which is unfortunate. If he wanted to come down for those reds off for a cannon, he'd have to hit the ball pretty hard.
Good ball. Shot down 1.
Just again taking the respectable, disciplined shot here. One cushion escape, so it'll be a miss if he misses it at all.
Foul. Miss.
See, even
Ball. Shot down
how
1.
close that was at this level, that's still a miss. The miss rule obviously not controversial at all. No one's ever had an opinion about it. The sort of grey patchiness that comes up on the screen sometimes I would attribute probably to radio interference. We're streaming the video feed to, not to get technical, to the computer via Wi-Fi, and there are 1 or 2 competing Wi-Fi networks in the Melbourne CBD, as you can imagine. So I do apologise for that, but it does seem quite inconsistent, so hopefully not too disruptive. Vinny is one of the competing Pride champions. He won it in 2005. He's actually the only Pride champion who was competing in this event that wasn't Victorian. Vinny, of course, being from New South Wales. I don't think that's going to make it.
Foul and a miss. Full to Vinny Calabrese.
And they'd rather play these shots really soft because they don't want to leave the red on, because you know he knows Vinny is perfectly capable of cleaning the table if he does leave it on, so he'd rather give him a few penalty points in exchange for getting the cue ball where he wants it. Of course, our referee's going to put the cue ball back to as close to where it was as possible.
One.
That was a good pot. That was basically an all or nothing pot, because if he misses it, you know, Sean has an easy one to get in. The last one still being tight on the rail is a problem for both of them. So even with a high value colour here, he's not likely to score much more than that.
Barrett 12, Steve Vincent 23.
Sounds like Steve's leading on the other table, but not by much. Steve, like Sean, also looking to go to the interval 3-1 up. Unless Kale can fight back in that game. Level it up.
Seven. Vinny Calabrese, 7.
No, Vinny's got down so quick, he must be able to see it. Thought he might have had a lucky kiss on the green then, but not quite lucky enough. Anything across that baulk cushion is tough. This is a tough yellow. He's got the brown with a potential waistcoat foul there. Not a nice shot at all.
Very calibrating. 8.
Might be able to see through to the potting angle here. If he wants to take it off, take it on. Try for a shot to nothing. Played it from the back, send it up the table. Leave it safe, that's a good shot.
Two. Calibrating 2.
See, it's hard to tell on the screen if that's covered, but by the speed at which Vinny got down on the shot, it's definitely not completely covered. The green would put Vinny up by 20 with 22 on the table, so he doesn't need the brown as well, which is why he probably hasn't been too eager to take it on without the ability to promote the brown. It's not an easy ball to play safe off where it is either. Sounds like a half century up on the other table. So I'm sure we'll hear about a winner of that fourth frame soon. It's a testament to how heavy that would be from the other table.
Three.
That their first frame went on for quite a while with the safety battle, and you know they beat us to finishing the 4 games.
John Dallas, 3.
Still waiting to hear from table 1 as to who won that last frame, but I'm sure I'll hear it any second now, and I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I do.
Four.
Paul has just come back in his room. Let me ask him the score. The table on the other the score on the other table, not the table on the other score, is 3-1 to Steve Mifsud at the mid-session interval.
Sean Dallas 40, winning a busy fifth. It's 5.
Oh,
11.
what a way to do it. I mean, there's going to be
15-minute break.
frost
Thank you.
across the entire match. And it was a wonderful blue.
15 minutes.
So, at the mid-session interval, nothing separates Vinny Calabrese or Sean Dallitz. It's 2-all, which is probably what it should be. It's probably a fair and just result. You know, Sean put in an 87, Vinny put in a 97. They're both playing exceptional snooker. And it's really great to watch. So there'll be a mid-session interval now for 15 minutes. And we'll resume the stream when that's concluded and the night will be played to completion. It's a best of 9, so that's a race to 5 frames. So 3 more to go for either player. Just wrapping up the table here. We're back live from the RACV City Club in Melbourne. Nothing separates these two players after the first session, 2 frames each. Sean has made an 87, Vinny has made a 97. On the other table, Steve Mifsud leads Cal Barrett 3 frames to 1. He made a 60 plus clearance to clinch that last frame, I'm told. So incredible high standard all around. Now you really do not see that very often. Vinny's just potted a red off the break. Might be one of those things that hasn't happened in this event ever before. I don't know, but very unlikely. And I'm also joined right now by the VBSA president, Alex Faru, who was a player in this event as well. Alex, tell us what you've seen thus far this morning.
I think the standard's been where you'd expect it to be, Sam. These are top-ranked players in the country. I mean, Vinny's currently #1 in the country, and you've got Steve on the other table, so the standard is going to be where you expect it to be with this calibre of player. And fortunately for myself, a long way to go yet. But you're right, you wouldn't normally see a ball potted off the break. Can't remember the last time I've actually seen that.
No, I've certainly not seen that. I've never done that. I wish I could. I'd do it every game.
I think Sean Dallets is doing well today as well. I mean, he's up against some stiff opposition, but if you've seen his positioning in the rankings, most recently he's gone from 24th. He's now 3rd in the country. So if you look at it, we've got the top 4 players in the country playing in the semi-finals of the national championship. So
It's almost like the expected roster of players you would expect to see at this level.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I keep coming back to just how consistent Sean's been. He has the most, I believe, recorded 40 plus breaks in the entire event. And like even his safety is so consistently at a high level. Like he very rarely makes like a really bad shot. Like it's all
You're right. Yeah.
yeah, the floor of his game is quite high.
That's a good way of putting it, Sam. The floor of his game is quite high. You'll see he's very deliberate with his cue action. You'll very rarely see him accelerate past his own control point. You watch him, he's pretty much got the same pause on the backswing every time. Whereas some other players maybe are more, they feel the shot and they may cue up a different way depending on the shot. Sean Dallets, I've had the honour to play against him in the Vic tournament, and he's an amazing player to stand next to and watch, and I'm sure the referees enjoy refereeing these high caliber players as well.
Oh, that's why we do it.
Yeah, it's a lesson certainly to see how they play and construct a break.
Speaking of, Vinny's on 31 here, and he's opened up the Reds were quite tightly packed still at the start of the break. He's opened them up here.
Yeah, it's looking promising for him at the moment. Like I said, not many players can say that they've potted a ball off the break. Can we actually have a situation where he's potted the ball off the break and the players
And
not come back
cleared
to the
up.
table? Yeah.
And then the other player doesn't get a single shot in the frame. That's that would be a story.
That would certainly be different. Add another record to his fantastic achievement so far. Can you imagine feeling like Sean though, sat in the seat, having watched that ball go?
Yeah. You'd feel like the world is against you.
Yeah.
So that's just another wonderful mid-range red that he's just played so confidently.
He's playing for the middle pocket. He's got it pretty right.
Yeah, and there was only really the one red that he was playing for then, so he definitely had to land on it.
Yeah. Interesting thing is, I can't quite see from here whether he's got the angle. No, he's gone for the break. I think Sean might be coming back to the table.
It looks like it. Our dreams of our one visit match are potentially over.
I'd actually like to see on the Pro Tour whether that's actually ever been done.
Unless he takes on an absolute nightmare of a green here.
Well, I think what he's trying to do is size up. If he can get him behind the brown, then he's blocking off the path.
Green ball.
That's good. It's a good start from the frame, from the break.
That's it. One off yet another recorded break in this match.
Yeah, he's quite a prolific scorer. If you look at the breaks on most tournaments, he's pretty much the guy who's...
Winning calibrating 6.
The tournament will be going on. We expect most past tournaments that this will carry on past 7 o'clock. So if you get an opportunity, come down to the wonderful facilities at the RACV club and watch the best players in the country fighting it out for the title. That's a lovely shot. He's got to navigate and get round. He's going thin cut. Yep. That green's going to be a friend. No.
And with the reds where they are, it's one of those situations where you play a bad safety, you leave your opponent in, that's it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect either of them to miss with the reds spread out like that. The black's a bit of a problem, being on the top rail.
Yeah, it's certainly in Vinny's favour. But long way to go with these games. Like you said, anyone gets in, they're capable of clearing up from here. And I'm sure they'll appreciate the tables have just been re-ironed during the mid-interval, so they'll be running extra nice. For those of you that do come down to watch this, we've got the theaterette with a large screen, cinema screen, watching the game, so you can sit in comfort in lovely leatherback chairs and enjoy a cup of coffee and watch the game. And wow, well, that black isn't on the cushion anymore.
No.
It's just the opportunity Sean would be looking for.
Yeah, he clearly has a nice shot on the red. He's got right down.
Yeah.
Should be able to finish just high on the blue. Yeah, this is a good opportunity here.
Right, go over that way. Yeah, head front. Don't worry. Head front. That's all right. That's all right. That's all, I'm just trying to, yeah, maybe between frames. If you watch his action, it's almost always the same, which is a mark of a great player. The thing I noticed from Sean a while ago, he said to me where he plays, and this is a good tip for people who practice, he doesn't actually get to play with very many people other than in the competitions. So he practices. That's all he does, pretty much. That's a testament to his practice routine and the benefits of practice for those of you that are keen on improving your game.
Yeah, it's a very high level of discipline to be able to stay motivated and not have that regular match play.
And as you can see, he'd be thinking here now ahead for that red that's on the side rail at some point, because these ones are pretty much like a setup.
Yeah, it's looking like a drill.
15.
The important thing here is not to lose concentration, because
No.
it gets so easy after a while. You think, yep, and you run a few inches too far and all of a sudden you're chasing the white.
Yep, that's right. I think Walter Lindrum said that amateurs play good shots poorly.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's about potting the balls that you should be potting.
You see, and there's the mark of a good shot. He didn't end up straight on the black. Left himself an angle.
Yeah, he's leaving it exactly where he wants it.
Yeah. He's going for this red now. If he gets this open, he's really going to be focusing on that red on the side cushion.
30.
This is like mission control here, Sam. You've done an amazing job. This place, if anybody comes along to the theaterette, you should see it. It's like a professional setup that you get at the ABC. It's fantastic. Well done.
21.
That's a super confident shot.
It is. I just didn't even think about it. So the important thing here is to leave himself high on the black.
38.
So that he just bounces off the cushion, leaves himself the red next to the pink. But again, it's that last red. So I'm wondering if he's thinking about leaving the red in the middle.
You could play for a run through on the pink, even.
Mm.
Leave the other red into the
That's
side
pretty-
pocket.
Oh.
39.
Yeah, it's difficult to see from this angle. I wasn't sure. I thought we'd just pull it back a bit, but
Probably wants to run through on the black now,
yeah. Just going to stun up for the red.
because then he can play for the area in between both of them.
Yeah. I can't quite see if this is straight or not. Oh, it's a lovely shot. That's a beautiful shot. And he's walking around the table confidently, didn't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just... Which is a lovely cue action, look. Always the same, pull back. And then shoot.
47.
And he stays down,
Yeah.
watches the ball go in the pocket from the table.
That's right.
That black
And he's
did
gone
go
to
in.
move it.
Oh, that's unlucky.
See, I'm wondering whether you'd have left yourself just to drip it into the middle pocket from where you were, because you're on the blue, natural angle onto the yellow.
Mm.
But hey, I would never question Sean.
No.
Sean Dallas, 54.
That's another recorded break for
Yep.
Sean, a half century. Just got a message through from Paul Cosgrove that the fifth frame Steve made a 48 and then Kale made a 35. and currently Steve is up 49 to 40. So another very close game on that other table.
Yeah.
Sean Allen 61, Vinny Calabrese 45.
What a lovely shot that was. Nope.
Out.
Yeah.
7 to Vinny Calabrese.
It's not an easy shot when it's next to a colour.
No. But he's going to be in a
Yeah.
worse snooker now.
Yeah. Wow.
I hear Kale doubled the last red and took a black. Steve's back at the table 49 to 48. Another nail biter over there. They had a long safety battle in their first game.
Okay. Oh, Steve and Cal. Oops,
Oh,
that was a
that's
miscue.
That sounded...
Stretching.
Down and miss 4 Vinny Calabrese.
Well, if he's got this as a pot, he'd take it.
Yeah.
I can't quite
Well,
see the angle from here, but I'm assuming he's going in the middle.
All the colours are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
That went in and came out.
yeah.
Just skirted the lip.
Vinny doesn't miss shots like that often.
No.
Sean would have been thinking this frame was over.
Yeah. He's got another bite of the cherry here. Oh, that pocket was a little bit more accepting because of the speed.
Yeah. It dusted its feet on the way in, but it went in and
It did.
anyway.
Well, now the tables turn so quickly, don't they? He's doing the maths. Basically 13, 15, 18, 22. He needs the 3 colours, the bulk colours, if he takes a black.
Looks a little bit of too much of an angle to hold, maybe.
Mm.
Might have to go in and out.
Yep. Go behind the green. He's missed the green. That's a wonderful shot. That's a lovely shot. That's a game-winning shot.
If he had bowl in hand, that's where he would have
That's
put
where
it.
you put it. Yeah. I think the tables are turned, and Vinny is thinking, well, there goes another frame.
That one's tough because Vinny could have won that.
Yeah. And it's turns on such a small percentage, such a small error.
Of course, he still needs to win the game, but you don't see him missing
Well,
really.
he'd want to put the last couple of balls in. He doesn't want to leave the hiding behind the black type.
No.
But once he passes blue, I don't think we'll be seeing Vinny come back to the table, even if the pink doesn't go down. But I think there's little doubt of that being missed.
No.
Well, a bit of flair just to enjoy himself.
Get the exhibition snooker going.
Yeah, that's well done. That's the tale of two cities. That game, it turns on such a small
Yeah.
action. Right. So many times we're looking at that and thinking, "Oh, Vinny's won it. Oh, Sean's won it. Oh, Vinny's won it."
Yeah, I think the favourite for that frame flipped maybe 3 times.
3
at the end
times,
there.
yeah. Vinny got him into some really good snookers. But as they say, them's the breaks.
That's it.
Neville Ingles doing a great job as usual. We call him the George Clooney of referees.
The commentator's curse, you said that and you just dropped a red onto the ground. Oh, poor Neil. He's doing a
Commentator's
fantastic
curse.
job. It's a lot to be on your feet for this long because, you know, referees don't get to sit down between shots like the players do, and dress shoes are not made for being on your feet and walking around that much. So, and, you know, Neville and Bohan, who are refereeing right now, have also been refereeing all weekend. So, I'm sure their legs are sore, but, you know, you couldn't really ask for more talent officiating these games either.
No, and it's also mentally tiring because you have to focus on everything that's going on. You have to watch where the player is. You know, Sam, you do this, and it's so well appreciated of the referees, and the standard of refereeing in Victoria is renowned across the country.
It's certainly hard to referee when these players are playing on the other tables and making big breaks, because, you know, you have to be concentrating on your game, but, you know, you want to watch them knock in the hundreds and the 90s and stuff like that. But, you know.
Well, you do get the front row seat though. With some of the best players.
Yeah, no. I do tell people I reckon refereeing has definitely improved my game. You learn so much just by watching them play. You know, you pick up little bits here and there, even subconsciously. You know, just like, you know, like people like Steve, you learn so much by just watching his like mind work, what he's thinking about when he's walking around the table, how he's doing that, and everything he's considering. It's an absolute pleasure to referee these guys.
Yeah, I've watched them now and again, and you're right, Sam. You pick up so much, even if it's the small little things. It makes a big difference, and that's after years of them building their craft.
That's it.
And you get front row seat, so. And you see it under pressure as well. You see how they cope with the pressure.
That's it. I just heard that Steve did fluke a blue out of a snooker, just from Paul then. So
it's a cruel game.
If he's landed on the pink,
it's a cruel game.
Well, I mean, at the end of the fourth frame, Vinny had a fluke. Which, you know, he looked plumb in to win the frame anyway, but he did fluke a really important ball. You know, it's going to happen in a best of 9 a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's just part of their mental fortitude. You have to remember that, you know, you're going to get luck and they're going to get luck, and it's all going to balance out in the end.
Yeah, I was talking to James a couple of months ago, and I said to him, how much of this game do you think is mental attitude versus cueing? And he said at least 80% of the game. Yeah. Which is, you know, for all of you that are out there working on your cue action, great, but getting your mind set, it's the surest far way to have a bad cue action if your mind isn't right.
That's right. And, you know, like, it's pretty easy to go back to Steve as an example for, you know, good play, but he also just seems so unbothered by anything that goes against him. You know, he plays snooker like he's a poker player. He gives absolutely nothing away, and he's just so strong mentally.
I think we've just invented an avatar for Steve, the poker player.
That's it.
Sat there with the dark glasses on.
We've got a nickname for him now.
No, you're right though, Sam. He treats it like it is for him, which is a job. Right? He's turning up to work, and he's doing his business, and he's an ultimate professional.
Yeah,
as all of these guys are. They've dedicated their lives to playing this game.
I mean, Steve's won it 10 times before, so you'd have to, you know, you have to be pretty committed and disciplined to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's and the changes he will have seen over the years, right? The different players come and go.
Yeah.
It's an honour to have such a great player to watch. I think Victorians are blessed, but there's a lot of talent out there, and there's a lot of youngsters coming through as well.
Now that seemed like a contentious frame on the other table. I heard that Steve had jawed the pink, and Cale jawed the pink as well. but it just came through that Steve did win it, so Steve's now leading 4-1. Only one to go for Steve to book his place in yet another final.
Yeah, Kale isn't the sort of person who will let his head get down.
Absolutely not.
So, I've seen tournaments turn around on a single shot, and all of a sudden a player gets going. These guys are capable of getting in, finishing a frame in one visit.
Yeah. I mean, Kale knows more than anyone that, Steve's won 4 frames, but he hasn't won that 5th one yet.
That's right, and he's not going to give it up either.
No.
Steve's going to have to work for it.
That's the thing. Like, I was refereeing Joel Younger and Adrian Ridley the other day, and neither of them were making the sort of high breaks you would expect them to make, but it was out of respect. Like, they just knew each other would clean the table if they got in, so they were playing quite conservatively, I think. But that was another well fought nail biter. That was a decider, won by Adrian 4-3. But even that deciding frame was close. But yeah, it's just the amount of respect that these guys show each other, because they just know what they're capable of.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sam. I've watched a couple of those as well, and you were lucky to watch such a nail biter. I heard it was a really hard fought match.
Yeah, it was. It was a pleasure to officiate.
Well, I think we're going to get into one of those frames here where an opening is going to have to appear, because the table's still quite neat. So, but we'll see how it goes. Well, you can certainly say if somebody makes a mistake here, Sam, there's going to be a few points on the board.
It's going to be damage. Yeah.
It's going to be damage, yeah. Out of the two, you'd think Vinny would be the sort of person who would risk his arm more than Cal. Sean. I think Sean is more of a considered player. He weighs things up. This is going to have to be a thin snick. Missed the blue on the way back as well. I said thin.
That's a thin snick. That's a very, very thin snick.
Right. I have a feeling he's going to leave him play from there. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to play from there.
Yeah.
It's a horrible shot.
It is. Oh,
that's a good shot.
That's a great shot. It's where this white goes now, where that red is. Look at this.
Oh.
What did we say earlier on? It's a cruel game.
Finding your way back to balk with that safety shot is tough, and he got fortunate there with the yellow, but
and a ball over the hole.
Yeah.
To add insult to injury, and this ball's not going to reach. Always put side. Oh, that's a great shot. That's a lovely shot. And he's gone for it, but it's short.
Hard to see if he's left a path to this red over the pocket.
I think he has.
Yeah, Vinny's gone down on it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, different one.
It's hard to tell from the angle, isn't it, really?
It can be, yeah.
It's deceiving. Well, like I said, I think you said it, Sam. Anyone who gets in here is going to be damage.
See, that's just that shows his confidence right there. You know, he didn't necessarily play for the one over the hole, the ones sort of where the pack usually is.
That's right. In this situation, you're going to leave the easy ones for when you run out of position.
Yeah, he's playing for the right reds, not the easy ones.
Yeah. Well, he can't get, you know, he can't let Sean take this one as well, because 4-2 starts to become really difficult. So this is his chance to bring it back to level. Sam, has Vinny been in front yet in frames?
In frames, it seems to be. I don't think so.
I think Vinny brought it to 2-2 earlier on.
Yeah.
Because Sean was 2-1 up.
Yeah.
So I think
Sean might have won the first one. So I think it was 1-0,
right.
1-1,
Yeah.
1-2, 2-2.
Yeah. So he's been in front all the time. That plays on your mind as well. Or it can do.
Yeah.
If the other guy gets in front, because it's all about momentum.
I'm sure someone in the YouTube comments will confirm or deny that.
Yeah, this is a shot. He's got the one in the middle, but he's going for this one.
17.
Yeah, it is difficult to see the angle, isn't it? I didn't think the pink was that high up. If you watch Vinny's cue action, his pause is a lot less. He uses a lot more of his wrist.
It's a lot more free flowing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Sam. Yeah. And yet they get the same results.
That's it.
If there was a single way, we'd all be doing it.
Just goes to show you that people have their different, you know, idiosyncrasies and different things work for different people. Like, you know, the way Vinny moves around the table versus the way Steve moves around the table is starkly different.
Yes.
But they're both obviously exceptional players.
Yeah, and this is if you watch a variety of players who've been here, you got Adrian Ridley, you got Kurt Dunner. They're both flamboyant players, but they play flamboyantly in a very different way. Right?
Kurt Dunham, who took Vinny to a decider last night in
Yes,
the
he did.
quarterfinal.
Yep. Very good player. I had the pleasure of being beaten by him earlier on in the rounds, and he gets through the ball so well. You watch him; he's got this confidence as he walks around the table, but he gets through the ball really well. And yet he'll pot a ball from the top rail without even blinking.
Yeah. Of course, one of our former professionals, as is Vinny Calabresi.
Yep. Well, that's uncharacteristic. You know, never second guess Vinny, but I'm wondering why he played that red to go all the way up when he had the one in the middle. So he must have thought.
Stay down with the high value colours.
Yeah, I think maybe what he wanted to do was get rid of this red that Sean's playing now.
Well, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Oof.
I think that's
That's not worked out.
That's not worked out at all.
Mustn't be touching because the referee hasn't looked or declared that. Sounded like Sean nominated pink there, so he's just going to nick off this and head up the table.
Well, I think Vinny will be very pleased after missing that green just to give away 1 point. You've got to think about the levels of concentration they've got to keep going, and over 3 days, and as you get closer to the end, the concentration levels actually have to go up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Vinny stopped playing Kurt Dunham last night till about 11 p.m.
11. I was watching for the result and thinking maybe the results weren't put up, but that's how long it went.
Yes, and he was up this morning playing at 10 a.m. and he's still knocking in 97s.
Wow. Well, there's your bench strength. There's your reserves built up over years of playing.
Yeah. It's always tough.
Caught that one a bit thick, isn't he?
Yeah, it's always tough playing safe when the red's on the rail like that, and it's the only one to play off of.
I don't mind telling people I had the pleasure of playing Vinny at the Fred Osborne. Not in the competition, but the day before the competition started, there was a Victoria New South Wales Challenge, Sam. Unfortunately, Victoria lost, but hey, we'll gloss over that for a moment. And I asked Vinny for a couple of frames if he wouldn't mind a knockabout. I think I regretted it. He's still wearing an outdoor jacket. He's knocked in 100 on the first frame. Somebody's come along and sat down next to him. He's knocked in another 100 in the second frame. He said, I don't often do that. I said, thank you very much. So he's taken his jacket off, knocked in a 70. So you can gather that at this point I've just been picking the balls out.
Yeah, that's it. And, if he did that now, he'd win the match, even from 3-2 down. That's the level that they're playing at.
Well, when he took his jacket off and only knocked in 70, I said,
Put
your
it
jacket
back on.
Put it back on. He didn't need to. He knocked in a century on the fourth frame as well. So he's knocked in 3 centuries in 4 frames.
That's 3 more than I've done.
6.
And he ended up winning that tournament, so he turns around and goes, where's Alec? I need him to warm me up. I'm the sacrificial lamb.
And I believe he just won back-to-back Q Tour events, Oceania Q Tour events in Australia, I think.
That's right.
7.
I'll tell you what, though. Sean, by his ranking, going from 24th to, I think it's 3rd now. It's just an amazing climb, and I think he's got more to go, personally speaking. I'm not saying Vinny doesn't.
Yeah.
I just think that Sean's at that stage of his life where he's still building his craft.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be at the top end of these events for many years to come. He strikes me as someone who's putting in the hard work and getting the rewards out of it.
Yeah, and he's such a lovely fellow as well. He's such a gentleman. He's got all the ingredients. If he was to craft a player, this would be it.
His whole family was in this room watching him play before as well, so he's got his cheer squad with him.
He's got his support.
You love to see.
Yeah, it's really important. He's got his support. Yeah, because it's a very solitary sport.
Yeah.
Oh, some damage going to be done here.
Got the cue ball on a string.
He does. 2 similar shots here. It's what he does with those reds on the cushion. This game's not over yet.
Finishes high on the black. He might try and cannon into them.
There you go. See where he wants to end up. Once he's potted this, does he have the angle from that point to get onto the... So I'm assuming the white... Again, it's difficult to see from this side angle, but I'm assuming the white's pretty straight to that red then. If that's where he's looking at staying. He's gone forward a bit. So maybe he'll do it next shot. He's coming back. No?
Yeah, he's aiming pretty low.
He's gone for it.
If you can see that red, that's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah. Well, I think
36.
he's, you know, this is pretty much the winning shot if he plots this.
That's a couple of times this match that he's had balls in absolutely awful positions, and he's
27.
What a lovely shot that
promoted
was.
them.
What a lovely shot. Well, it's keeping Neville on his toes, isn't he?
Yeah. I asked Neville if he had his roller skates on. He would be spotting lots of balls pretty quick.
Yeah, that's right. Now, when he stretched last time, he miscued trying to get out of snooker. No problem here, though.
45.
So as a right-hander, that red on the other rail, the side rail, shouldn't be a problem. He's just got to end up on the black, high or low, as long as he's not straight. Looks like he's bounced a bit. I can't tell from here, but he looks like he's bounced a bit high on that.
Yeah.
He's going for it, though.
Shouldn't have to do much with the white.
No, but he's just crept in, and he.
Look at that.
So he wasn't looking at holding on the black. He was like, "Let's get the red in."
Yeah, they're playing smart snooker. He's playing to win, not necessarily make the biggest breaks. He's of course on a half century, as I say that. But he'd rather get the blue and win than risk holding for the black.
Yeah, some players, as things get a bit tight, they tend to underhit the ball. That's where they decelerate. So they try to drip the balls in because they believe, well, if I'm not putting a lot of action into it, I'm not going to make an error. But he hit that with confidence.
He got a nice kiss to bring the green into the middle of the table, but he does have a bit of a nasty pot on this last red. But if he gets it,
yeah, he doesn't need the green. It's just fortuitous. But again, this will be a nice, clean queuing shot. Does he stay down? Let's have a look. He always does. And he's rattled it, but he didn't move off the shot.
58.
Getting that green out might not be a good...
no. Well, I mean, luckily for him, that yellow and brown is still quite a problem.
Vinny settling down on a shot. Nice shot. Under pressure. Good shot. Staring 4-2 in the face there.
I just heard Cale Barrett is leading Steve Mifsud 56-17 in their frame at the moment.
There you go. I don't think Steve was under any apprehension that Cale was going to fold anyway.
No. I mean, Cale's made one of the 2 centuries of the event of exactly 100.
Who did he make that against? Would have been in the
That's a good question.
earlier rounds, wouldn't it? Let's see where we're going. Something's going on.
If only Statistics Encyclopedia Paul Cosgrove was here with us.
Yeah, there you go.
That.
That's right. Vinny's taking his time on this shot. I think he's trying to work out how he's going to split those, the yellow and the green, but I don't think he can. Sorry, yellow and brown. So he's played the safety shot.
Any categories? 1.
It's a smart shot. Get Sean to open the balls for him.
Now, and a miss. Ball to Vinny Calabrese.
And a free ball. Not that he'd be taking it.
Yep. Vinny.
Oh, you need a lot more side on it than they had last time. And he's put a lot side on it. And he's done it too far this time. got the pink.
Foul. And a miss. 6 to Winnie Calabrese.
Well, Neville's going to have a little bit of a job now.
No, pink wasn't on the spot. Drop it off. Yeah, because that's what was clear.
I never really looked past the blue. That's why, you couldn't come this, you couldn't
So
come
just
here.
making sure the balls are in the right place for now.
Even then,
No, I don't think
a
so.
little bit more.
That spot wasn't right with the black, the white spot.
Yeah. Well, here you can almost, a little bit. Sweet, up to your shoulder.
I don't think I can play that.
It's a tough snooker anyway.
Millimetre here, that will make a difference.
Oh, he's hit it. Good shot. Where he ends up is in the lap of the gods, but he'll be happy with that.
Someone go tell Vinny we can't see. What's he doing?
His barber missed a bit. I agree with you. He needs a transparent head. I can't see at the moment.
May have underhit that slightly. I don't think it's covered.
He can see this. It's. I think he was worried about bringing it down too close and leaving it over the hole. He's probably worried about the double kiss here. Always in these scenarios, most important thing is to get the object ball safe. There's a lot of players who try to get the white safe. I think he's gone for that, and uncharacteristically you could see the way his cue action went. Well.
Oh, wow.
Well.
It doesn't get safer than that.
I just don't. Yeah. I think if you're Vinny, you're speechless at the moment.
Who would play this game? Who in their right mind would play this game?
You got to feel really sorry for Vinny.
Yeah.
Because that's just, that's just cruel.
This is frame ball here.
Yeah.
In it goes.
No mucking about. Straight in.
9.
If he misses this, I think Vinny will come back though.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you can get the pink and the black are in
They're in good positions.
good positions for cover.
Now the question is, does he dribble it over the hole? Yes, looks like he does.
In or just over.
It's very close.
Oh,
Look at this. What a great shot.
that's a shot.
And I think Vinny's just conceded. No. Well, he's certainly walking back to his chair.
He's just, he won't get out of it.
No.
Of course.
There you go. Done the same again.
14
And again.
and break.
So there you go.
How the games turn, hey Sam?
Sean is leading now 4-2, so only one away for him to get his spot in the final. But of course, Vinny perfectly capable of winning 3 on the spin.
Yeah.
And only time will tell.
Frame 7. Sean Dallas leads 4 frames to 2. Vinny Gallagher to the break. 7.
Well, no red off the break this
I was
time.
about to say, very unlucky for Vinny there. I'm sure he's thinking. mean, you have to say it was unlucky for Vinny to have Sean fluke that yellow in the last frame.
Yeah. That was certainly a wild shot. In fact, thinking about it, it's gone for the left-hand corner pocket and it's gone in the right-hand centre pocket. That's a bit of a shot.
I mean, when those things go for you, you still have to clean the table.
Yeah.
Like Sean did.
Yeah. And look, it will have happened to them as many times as it happened to their opponent.
That's right.
Vinny tried to get behind the black there and didn't quite make it. White overran a bit. So Sean's sizing this shot up. If he misses, it's the only one he's leaving on. Get direct view of his cue arm there, his cue hand, nice and loose. There you go. That's a
like a
lovely
machine.
shot. What a lovely shot.
Six.
Well, you can't do too much with this unless he wants to pull it back a little bit for the blue. Yep, he stroked that lovely. Look where this white's gone. All the way down. He's actually overscrewed it.
Sean does 6.
I don't think he'll be potting that one anytime soon.
No, I don't think so.
So look, he's about to prove us wrong now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going for it. It's coming away from the pocket. So it's hit the cushion on the way up.
It looks good all the way to like the last maybe 6 inches.
Yeah,
So it
that's right.
drifted off.
Yeah, and I'm wondering whether this is... I think he can cut this in. Yeah, it's well struck, confident. Now. Oh, he's coming a bit in between, you see. If he'd not gone so far, he'd have the yellow into the pack. If he'd come further, it would be easier for the blue into the pack. He's actually in that no man's land. But he's got some red still in the open, so... Have you ever watched yourself on TV? Sam, ever watched yourself filmed playing the game?
Playing the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Bit of an eye-opener when you saw yourself?
Yeah, you can see when you're doing the right things and when you're not doing the right things. And it's definitely a useful training aid to see what you're doing well and what you're not doing well.
Oh, look at this.
Just brush those reds then.
He's actually still got a red. Yeah, you're right. I think for a lot of people, if they've never seen themselves, I recommend themselves, turn your phone on, give yourself a couple of minutes just to see how you play, because you'll pick things up that, you could be playing for years and never know.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so hard. Like when you're playing well, it's often you don't know what you're doing differently.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's such a fine motor sport, and it's like those differences are so minute that it's just so hard to know.
Yeah, it's a great training aid for those who are interested.
And we have some WPBSA accredited coaches in Victoria now, I believe.
Yeah, I was one of the I think we've got 3 in. Yes, we've got 3 in Victoria. I was one of them. Julie Watson's the other one. Paul Thomason, our head of coaching and development, is the other. There's 18 across Australia now, and the benefit of that program is you are able to go out and train the trainers effectively to repeat the program. So we're hoping to increase that and lift the training and coaching capability so it can help the young aspiring players. It's so important to be able to, give back to the game.
And just to be able to nurture talent when it's there,
Yeah, that's right. And it's, if you're ever involved in it, it's a bit like refereeing. You're giving back, and it's so nice to see the results. We've got a couple of youngsters at the moment in Victoria here, and there's one chap, Max, who he won't play snooker. He's a billiards guy. He'll just stick with billiards, and he's such a lovely kid, and he loves the game of billiards. And there is another uncharacteristic cue in the air.
That's unusual from Sean.
It is. It needed a lot of power, but he's getting away with a few things at the moment, I think.
Yeah. This will be a test of Vinny's mental fortitude for sure, to be able to just keep his head down, stay confident, stay attacking.
There's a lovely shot.
Still staying attacking, I think.
Yep. If we just step back for a second, that screw back that Sean did, the red was what, 6 inches from the hole?
Yeah.
And he's up near bulk, and he screwed the cue ball right back to bulk. That's, yeah. He may regret it though.
He may regret it.
So red to blue, and get down for those reds. Wasn't overly happy with that one. He wanted to come through further. Should still be okay. Side cushion, bottom cushion, be all right. He's screwing the shot actually. He's coming the other way.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. That'll do.
That's a fantastic shot.
There we go.
Just the side at the end there, just flick it over.
Yeah. See the swerve as it took hold? It's lovely, isn't it? There was a famous shot that Neil Robertson played. He was on the right side of the black where Vinny's standing now, and there's a pack pretty much like that, but there was a gap. And he's gone to go and smash into the pack, and it's actually swerved around the gap and gone through the gap and up the other end of the table. There we go.
He's finished
Bit low.
low on this red. It means that he could try and punch through it and knock some of the reds across as well.
Yep, he's
That's
hitting the top of the ball.
Difficult to judge the pace. Well,
Just
he's
a
knocked it a
glance.
little bit. I don't know if any of them... That one on the left at the bottom looks like it might go into the right pocket.
He might be getting the rest out here and trying to nudge into them. Yeah, he's playing top.
Top.
Not enough. Yep, it's gone into them and he's missed the black.
The black.
I think he might be covered. He might actually covered all the 2 reds into the middle, one covering each other or not. It's hard to tell.
Some reds out, but he's knocked them out for Sean. If you can get the first one.
Well, if he gets in here...
Black's over the hole.
He might be playing to pot this first red and open the reds further. Because he's got the black over the hole.
Mm.
This could be good. Just doesn't want to think too far ahead now. One shot at a time, Sean.
Oh, that's a wonderful shot. If he's
It's a
not
nice shot.
too low.
Oh, I think he's still
Think
be
he can
going
cut
for it,
this
but
in.
he, you know, anywhere but the cushions. I think the cushions have got magnets, really, when we play. Yeah, now, does he use the reds to break into them and stay there, or does he think he can control it?
And the brand new cloth does have a different feel to it.
Yeah.
You know, on all 8 tables were recovered before the event.
Yeah, it's a good point, Sam. It's lovely support from the RACV and the national body and everyone, and the VBSA to get, you know, and the help of Robbie Fulvari. Oh, well, there you go. It's those nudges that make a big difference at this level.
Because the problem with that black was getting on the next red.
Yeah.
He's been quite fortunate here.
Well, there are no reds on the cushion, so it's a matter of getting one open.
Looks like the angle off this red is crashing into those other reds. Don't know whether he...
Oh, I don't think he'd want to... I'm not sure he'd want to crash into him.
No.
He'd want to come through that gap.
You don't want to do that off a red.
No. So, but he's getting the long rest out, so he's certainly made his mind up.
That's the thing with these players. They're so considered and they know exactly what they want to do every time they're at the table.
So, let's see what he's doing here. Or is he just screwing it back for the blue? No, he's gone through the
He
gap.
found the gap.
Yep, that's the gap. He's taking time looking at this from the screen. It looks wonderful, but
He looked like he dropped his head a little bit there.
yeah, it did, didn't it? But you know, you're looking at it and thinking the angle, unless he's straight.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Unless he's close to or dead straight, he'd be struggling to get up. Because anything else, it looks pretty...
Well, even if it's straight, you can
Textbook.
screw back off the side cushion for the red in the middle. So I'm assuming you just wanted more of an angle. He's going to punch this one. There we go. Oh, I see. Well, that's a good shot. Because if you can get this top red...
Maybe he wanted the cannon.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
he
why he
wanted
was
the cannon. He's
disappointed.
ended up with this. If he's got this top red, he's now got 4 reds in the open, 23 points in front.
And on the other table, Kale won a frame. And he's now trailing 2 frames to 4, but I believe that he's 44-0 behind in this last one, but Paul tells me he potted a long red through traffic.
Oh, wow.
So he's a fighter, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Actually, Cal was in the final of the Tasmanian last weekend against Kurt Dunham, who ended up winning that one, I think, 5-3. So, you know, from one final to a semi-final. It's consistency.
Sounds like Kale made a 27, so 27.44 on the other table, which could be the match frame.
He's gone too far on this one. Is he? No, looks okay. He might not have gone far enough, but I think that red
This could be
left of the pink goes.
yeah. This could be the clinching visit if it does.
Oh, it's always too soft.
Oh,
Always too soft.
he's fortunate he has this other red, but it is
I think he's
not a nice shot.
No. He's going for it. 30 points in front.
I would expect him to take it on, given the score difference. Oh, he looks like he's on this red.
Yeah, I think he's just on it, but they never bounce off the cushion enough. You've got to hit them harder than you think. That's in.
That's quality.
Well,
That's a
both other
quality
reds
shot.
are both red. He doesn't probably need the harder red anyway. He's got the other red now that goes as well. So, yeah, things are getting a little darker for Vinny now.
Notwithstanding any twists in this tale, Sean is probably going to be in the final.
There we go, ball in the middle.
Especially if he takes on the problem red now.
37 in front. Oh, he took that one too quickly. There you go.
Another recorded break for Sean, 46.
And I hate to say it, Sam, but that was commentator's curse.
I think Vinny's doing some maths at the scoreboard, looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh, you can win.
Sean Dallas 61, Vinny Calabrese 38. I think it was wrong, it was 18.
I thought I just heard Neville say 38.
I think he did say 38, but
might have missed
I
some.
don't. No, you haven't missed anything.
Unless he's misread it.
I think he's misread it.
Sean Dallas 61, Vinny Calabrese 18.
There you go.
What are you doing, Neville?
Sure.
You're making me second guess myself.
Well, you're not the only one. Sean Dallas was wondering, and Vinny was going, "Oh, great."
If it's 38-61, Vinny's not thinking about whether to come back to the table.
Yeah. Well, there's 43 on the table now. Oh, I think that's curtains. There you go, and he's
That's it.
shaking his hand. There you go.
Yeah.
Well done, Sean. And you have to say, didn't have the run going for him, Vinny, either.
No, but Sean played brilliantly well. He had maybe like four 40-plus breaks in that match as well.
Really? Oh, well, that's
Something
a lot.
like that. And
That's a lot.
he
to
already
hide
had the
against.
most across the entire event.
Wow.
He's playing very consistently well, and
Yep.
it's just fun to watch.
It is.
So Sean will be our first finalist. The other we'll let you know as soon as we know. It is so Steve Mifsud is leading currently 4 frames to 2. So go either way, but there we go.
Well,
What a
thanks,
match.
Sam. That was a lovely
What a
match.
tremendous match.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see Sean continue that form into the final. How do you think he'll go?
Well, he's got to be confident because I don't think he's been troubled so far in the tournament, unless I'm mistaken. I don't think he's had a hard match yet. So depends on who he plays, but whoever he plays is going to give him a hard go. So and it's lovely to see Sean in the final. I don't know how many of the finals of this he's been in before, but like you said, Sam, he's improving so much and he's just climbing up the ladder through his dedication. I'm looking forward to it. It's well deserved.
Yeah, as am I. And if it is if Steve wins this frame and wins, Steve's only lost 4 frames for the entire event as well. But
Wow.
Sean's been playing so consistently, so I'm sure it'll be close and it'll be just another very, very exciting match.
Thank you, Sam. That's
no worries.
great.
Thank you to everyone for watching. There's another link for the final live stream if you look at the VBSA YouTube channel, or you can go to the VBSA Facebook. The link is also there. And we'll be back for the final, which is slated to start at 3:30. So notwithstanding any unforeseen delays, we'll be back here and we'll see you then. Thanks, folks.